Hello everybody and welcome back to another Deep Oger review. Today we're going to be taking a look at I would say brand new, but this guy is quite old by standards of right now. We are taking a look at the Transformers Kingdom Core Class Starscream. And honestly, I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but I swore off G1 figures for Kingdom. I was just going to get the Beast Wars figures because that would save me a lot of money and a lot of time. And well, then they revealed the core class figures. And then they revealed Optimus. And then the leaked listings of Starscream, Megatron, and Soundwave came out. And I thought, oh, just $10. Okay, why not? So now I have all of the G1 core class figures that they've had so far in Kingdom. Yeah. So I kinda failed on that New Year's resolution, but at the same time, nobody ever succeeds on their New Year's resolution. So I mean, to be fair, who cares? This guy is absolutely fantastic. I remember when I got him, my mom was very surprised to find out that they actually transformed. She thought that was awesome, and believe me, I do too. I think we all do. But without further ado, let's get into this guy's details. So, for the up-close and personal shots, it does cut a very, very spiff silhouette, and I'm surprised they were able to paint those eyes in so well, because if you remember in my Megatron review, his eyes were kind of spotty, kind of splotchy on mine, but it was honestly the best one that they had at the Target. So, no, I'm not complaining. But this guy, they did the face fantastically, especially with the enclosed helmet, more enclosed than Megatron's. Of course, with the lights right now, it's casting a shadow from his helmet over his eyes, but they are in that nice dark, or not dark, but light red, different red than the body and the pylon, so. Then moving on, you have his thruster tits, and then obviously his mini null rays, his tiny bitty mini null rays, which actually bear a very, very striking resemblance to Earthrise Starscreams. They look almost exactly the same. So that blows me away how they were able to do this in this. It's pretty cool. It's almost like they just squeezed down the sculpt, or the not the sculpt, the what do you call it? The tray thing that they pour the plastic in. The mold. And then you have, obviously, his cockpit chest coming down. Classic Starscream crotch. And basically this guy's just gray. His feet are painted blue. So are these, obviously. And that's his forearms are painted blue, cast in gray. This guy's just pretty much all cast in gray, except for, it's just all cast in gray. But on the back, you'd have his actual cockpit hanging down, and the Deceptive symbols. I don't know how, but they got this guy cleaner than Earthrise Starscream, like in kibble containment. It's actually kind of concerning how they were able to do that with this small of a scale, and they couldn't do that with a Voyager. But honestly, I like this thing so much. It's actually my favorite core class figure. So without further ado, I'll get into comparisons. So for comparison, here he is next to Transformers Earthrise I almost said Skywarp. Transformers Earthrise Starscream and Transformers Kingdom Tigatron. And here he is next to the Wave 1 of core class that I have. We have him next to Transformers Kingdom Rat Trap and Transformers Kingdom core class Optimus Prime. And last but not least, here we have him next to the other core class Decepticons, his Wavemate Megatron, and Soundwave. I would have reviewed him, but he's kind of loose, kind of wibbly, kind of wobbly, so it just would have pissed me off. But for Articulation, is made up of a series of ball joints, as most Legends or Core Class figures. Just a swivel at the head, though. Nothing fancy. Can go full 360, though. It's just hard to get to it because of the shoulder pylons. But he can look side to side and all that jazz. Arm can go up about that far, down about that far. Can't go all the way around unless you fold in the wing. Even then, it can't go around because that hinge right there for the wing. So, doesn't really matter. I don't know anybody who's going to put him in that many poses, but if you wanted to, you could kind of do it. Elbow swivel, I'll get to that later, but elbow swivel and bend 90 degrees. No, nothing at the waist, as to be expected. It's a core class figure, whatever. Leg kick up about that far, back about that far. Beautiful, beautiful spread. No, kind of like a faux thigh swivel, where you get with the ball joint. Then a knee, go up about 90 degrees, and a swivel at the knee. Nothing at the feet. So, yeah, it's honestly pretty good articulation. But my one complaint is his null rays like to come out pretty easily. So you'll be just messing with him and putting him in a pose and perfecting the pose, and his null rays will just fall out. But, I mean, that might just be an issue with mine. Could be different on yours. I don't know. I think the pegs are a little too shallow. That's just me. But they needed it to be that way to make room for the ball joint. So, I mean, it's give and take here. Especially with a figure this size. It's still my favorite core class. I'd highly recommend it. And I hope they do the rest of the Seekers. But that's more for ending... But that's more for ending thoughts. But without further ado, let's get into the transformation. Underground, we taking charge. That niggas street beef guard. I lay squad on the bars, we make the squad. Who the fuck want the drama? Karma, call on my truck bomber. Think the riverside, the farmer. Keep him thick like a mama. Talk at the kind of lobby now. Monaco, twist stops, rock up. The oral monster. 20 niggas come slash over red and vodka. Fucking welcome to my sorta house. You want a basket, quarter ounce of blood smack at your door to my facilitate. Quarter count to Uno, slam shit, judo, sumo style. Motherfucker, you know Bruno punches his pop out. Watch the guns fly, cool Joe. Yo, step in with the rock, with the high silk, the top tilt, fresh bottom cleave, showing you what's up, mom. You got milk thugs and bitches, bottles we share, slugs and biscuits, shorty, turn into Hollywood Square. You know the husbands and smacklers, intellectual dyslexics. And for his jet mode, it does look extremely, extremely cute. I love the look of this thing. Obviously, Illusion falls apart because his hands are literally just right there. They couldn't have done anything with it if you wanted this to be this compact at this scale. If you want to pay $80, you can go get the New Age one. If you're really complaining about this and how cartoony it looks, you can pay $80 and get the New Age one. Don't think you want to do that. But I digress. This looks absolutely amazing. It's a lot more cartoon accurate, I want to say, than the Earthrise one, just because it doesn't come out to that point like the Earthrise one does. It has a lot less color to it, but I actually think that works in its favor. One of those nice red lines and its deceptive badges on each side. Metal pin going through the back, make it twisty and stuff. Obviously, you have just his feet dangling out. I wish they could have added like one hinge just right here. Yet again, like I said, it's a core class figure. It's $10. It's amazing that this thing even transforms to begin with. Why are people complaining? I don't understand it. But at the same time, this thing makes me feel like I'm 2 years old again, and I'm swooshing around the movie Starscream. Not the movie Legends one. That one sucked balls. But just a movie Starscream, and it makes me feel like I'm swooshing it around. But overall, I think this jet mode is absolutely fantastic looking. Honestly, for $10, this is one of the best Transformers you can get on the market today. It is absolutely fantastic, and if you're a Starscream fan, that makes it even better. Honestly, for my final thoughts, this guy is absolutely amazing. And if you haven't got him yet, the only question is, why? There is an ample amount at almost every Target I go to, so if you want this guy, definitely pick him up. It is easily one of the best $10 Transformers ever. It's actually my favorite core class figure, even above Rat Trap. And for what you're getting, it's amazing. It's amazing. Easily transformable, and I don't feel like it's going to break at any point whatsoever. The one major complaint I do have is obviously the complaint with the null rays easily falling out, but honestly, that's not a big enough issue for me to give this guy a bad rating. Especially with the way that this guy looks with both of the other previous and, well, not previous, but you know what I mean, the other G1 core class figures, especially Soundwave and Megatron. He looks absolutely amazing next to them. And even with Optimus Prime, as I said before, he looks absolutely stunning. I mean, you can get this guy in so many poses. It's basically just like the Earthrise one, just a lot smaller. And in some regards, this one is better than the Earthrise one, which is weird to say because, as a big fan of the Earthrise mold itself, I love the Earthrise one, unlike a lot of other people. But this honestly just knocks it out of the park. And hopefully in the future they do a 2-pack or single releases of Skywarp and Thundercracker, or even more, like a remold of Thrust and all them, the Coneheads, in this mold, because honestly, I can't get enough of it. And if you don't have it, highly recommended. Overall, I think this guy is fantastically fantastic. Any Starscream fan, or any Seeker fan for that matter, should get this guy. It's a must. It's a must. It's a must. I will say it is a must for any Transformers fan. And if you're kind of teetering on the side of, you know, core class, whatever, I'd say this guy is a great first pickup if you want to get into core class, because he's absolutely fantastic. But, as always, guys, if you liked the video, leave it a like. If you want to see more from my channel, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Peace. Ending note, totally forgot and blanked out on this in the end, but I have an Instagram, Maddie _is __gone. I have a Twitter by the same handle, and that's pretty much all I have to say. I give this guy a solid 7.5 out of 10. Anyway, guys, see ya. Bye.